In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with Massive X, my native instruments, the synthesizer we've all been waiting for, and I'm going to show you some patches to get started because I think the best way to learn is by doing. Before we get into it, I got to do my intro. Hey everyone, this is Andrew, DenderStudios.com, here to teach you how to make better music and help you achieve your musical goals. So as I said, we're going to be covering Massive X. Let's get right into it, and we're going to start with a super saw type of patch. Now, when you open Massive X for the first time or any time, you get this sine try saw on the first wavetable, and the second wavetable is off. And if you hit a key, you get that, which is a pretty generic saw sound. Now, just to give you a very, very broad overview of how this synthesizer works, you have your two oscillators here. You have noise oscillators. You have your filter section here. You have an effects section, general amp settings, more effects, and then this bottom section here is all contextual. So if I click this P, I get the performance section. E is envelopes. L is LFOs. These are more envelopes and LFOs. The T, I actually don't know what the T itself stands for, but it gives you these things that you can make and then assign onto certain sounds. So you can basically make note-specific modulation sources that you can put on anything. And then we have the voice section, which is how you do things like unison and select your polyphony mode. And you have routing, which you can kind of treat the synth like a modular synth if you really want to get into that. So as I mentioned, we're going to do kind of super saw sound. So right now we just have a saw. You can morph it. I'm going to keep it as a saw. And if you double click on anything, it's going to reset it back to its centric value. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get to this voice setting. I want to turn on unison. You can hear the difference that does. Now I have three voices. Crank that up to 6, turn up the stereo width, turn up the spread. And that's already a pretty good start. In fact, it's very close already. So now what I can do is I can go in here and I'll select that same wavetable. You don't have to, you can select a different one. But I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to experiment with putting this up an octave by dragging up this note thing. One thing I didn't do is turn up the volume. Now we have that super saw sound. So you can apply a filter to either or both of the wavetables by selecting this filter thing and moving it down. And I'll show you that. But I prefer to, in this case, I'm going to prefer to use this filter. So you can select whatever mode you want. I'm just going to select the Blue Monarch. And we want to, or at least I want to, kind of make it this wavy thing. So what I'm going to do is go over to the LFO section, and I'm just going to click this, and I'm going to drop it on the frequency, and then I can just grab it and bring it up. So now that I have that applied, it's a little jerky. Things aren't really lining up, and so what I want to do is I want to select mono so that everything will be triggered on the same time on every note. And in my case, in addition to this LFO, I want an envelope setting that has a little bit of a longer release and a little bit of a stronger or slower attack. We can go in and we can change like the peak and the shape, so I'll show you how that sounds all the way up and all the way down. And it's just changing kind of the slope of that actual attack. It's not changing the time, it's just how it comes in. So I'm going to go back to this LFO that I set, and you can see we have this rate knob here. And that's about what I want, so I'm going to bring this down. The nice thing is, in addition to this actual depth thing here, you can also change the depth of the LFO across all end locations just by changing this knob, which is super handy. And let's actually grab another LFO, and we'll throw it on there. I'm going to bring this up. And I'm going to make it uni so that it only goes in one direction. I'm going to make it go up. And I'm going to make this a lot slower. And I'm going to make it mono. All right, so at this point we have kind of a cool swelling synthesizer, but I want this to be a little more on the ambient side. So on this ending thing here, I'm going to put on dimension expander, and I'm going to also put on a reverb, and I'm going to make the, I'm going to turn up some of these delay chorus size values, and the mix is probably good. Dimension expander, I'll turn it up, and here's what we have now. That's still not really what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go into here. I'm going to turn up the attack. And then in addition to this frequency thing, I'm going to actually bring this down. And I'm going to grab the envelope 1. And I'm going to throw it in this middle slot here. And have this also bring this up. Too much. That's more what I was going for. Now, I'm going to bring this down even further, and I'm going to make it so that I have a distortion type thing here. So let's do distortion. Bring down the volume. All right, so that was fun. Now I want to make kind of a pluck sound. So I've initialized the patch. I'm going to click a button. And we're back to what we started with. So I'm going to go down here to the envelope settings. And I'm going to turn down the sustain. Turn down the decay. We can change the shape of this. That should be good with what I want. So now we're going to explore some of these sounds. So there's a whole bunch of wavetables in here. So I'll just let's pick a random one. How about Dusty? Oh no, that's like a chord. Never mind. Different category. Let's do mixed Atari. Flower. I like flower. I can go to voice, and I'm going to turn on the unison again. And a cool thing here that I'm going to point out while we're here is I'm just going to turn on this chord morph. And you can actually make it so that every time you hit a note, it plays chords for that key in whatever scale you pick. And it's a cool little feature. So anyways, I'll turn that off. We have a cool little thing. So I'm going to get another sound here. And we'll turn this up. I'm just going to pick a random thing. Let's make this an octave up just to add kind of a little pluck at the beginning. And now we're going to add a little bit of modulation to this wavetable. So I mentioned here, this is kind of a assignable thing. You can kind of treat it like your keyboard control, kind of in Serum or a bunch of other synths. So I'm going to drag that on there. And I got to activate it. And basically what this is going to do is it's kind of making a proportional, or in this case a linear thing. Every time I play a key, it's going to map that to the sound. And this is made more obvious if I throw it on like a filter. I'll put it down here, and then I'll put this up. Now it's like all the way down. If I play something high, it brings it up. So that's just an example. So I can turn that off. So I filtered out some of the high end, and then I put back in some high end by putting distortion on. And I want to make it a little harsher, so I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to add another distortion. becoming a little more industrial than I planned, but it's still pretty sweet, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to try... How about we try... What is nonlinear lab? I've never actually tried this. Oh, it's even more crazy. Let's actually bring this thing an octave down. See if we can get this even crazier. Ah, that's too intense. Too intense. There we go. That's a pretty sweet pluck sound. It wasn't really what I was going for in the beginning, but it came up pretty awesome. Now I think I want to make an ambient kind of plucked string effect. So how am I going to go about doing that? Well, first I need to go to the envelope, and I want to set the sustain down, just like the pluck sound. That's about the length of a kind of string element. I'm going to try this metallic string wavetable. I'm going to grab the second envelope and I'm going to assign it to this pitch thing. Now that's pretty sweet. I think I'm going to grab an LFO and I'm going to apply that to the wavetable just to see how that spices things up. I want it to be pretty subtle because I don't really want it to be something you notice. I want it to be something that naturally changes the sound. Now, I don't know if unison is going to work here. I think that works. Let's try noise. So that's pretty cool. I want to spice it up even more though. So I'm going to try messing around with this bottom section here. I think just a little bit of that really spices things up. So I'm going to go to this second wavetable and I want a little ping at the beginning of every sound. And I think the way I want to do that is find kind of a harmonic thing. I'm going to go with some kind of square wave. I'm going to turn the first wavetable off for now. And put on PM2. So I'm going to get this E7 envelope and throw it on the pitch here. And I want this to be just a little more chaotic than the first one. Now I'm going to bring back the first one. That sounds pretty sweet. So now I want to, let's try a frequency shifter. A little bit of that's pretty exciting. I think it kind of meets my goals. Now let's try track delay. No, I don't like it. So instead we're going to go to this kind of master effects section, and I'm going to put a delay on there, stereo delay. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. That is exactly what I was going for, even if it happened kind of accidentally. Now, I'm going to try the quad chorus just to see what that does. That makes it more ambient, so I'm going to go with it and try reverb once again. And I'm just going to make a big size, big delay, big chorus, and I don't know, down color. I don't want the delay. So I hope you found this video helpful and it made you realize that Massive X is actually pretty easy to use, and with very limited knowledge on the synth, you can make some pretty cool patches. Now I'm leaving a video on screen for you where you can check my exploring the sounds and the presets of Massive X if you want to check that out, and then another video that YouTube recommends. So I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.